So welcome to the American Ethical Union Assembly's Anna Garlin Spencer Award Day. It's a really lovely opportunity for us to kind of recognize our own and to celebrate the work that people do in their societies. And being a festive occasion that it is, we'd like to start with a bit of music. And so I'm very happy to introduce the band for today, A Different Thread. This is a collaboration between Alicia Best, you may recognize that last name, who is from Durham, North Carolina, and Robert Jackson, who is from Lichfield, England. And they are coming to us live from Lichfield, England today. So I'm very happy to welcome them here. And Alicia and Robert, please take it away.
Thank you so much for having us. We're glad to be here. The American Ethical Union and the several different ethical culture societies have been very important in my life, and I'm glad that we can share some music with you all virtually. This song is called Cradle to the Grave.
What does it take just to keep on keeping on? I'm in my mind, just trying not to drown. It's all the time, from the cradle to the grave, but I can see the sky and the shadows coming down. And it takes, it takes all of me. It takes all you have. Feels like running out of time down a crooked mile, and it's amber all the way. Why change it now? At the 11th hour, the stage is set, and we're standing in the light. And it takes, it takes all of me. It takes. Darkest hour to the breaking of the dawn. We may be poor, but we're rich in what we love, and we'll get by on just enough. And it takes, it takes all of me. It takes all of me. It takes all of me. It takes all of me.
Thank you so much.
Wow.
Thanks very much, guys. We're going to drop some links in the chat if you want to check out more of our music.
Oh, please do. Okay. Now, how can I get this? I'm having trouble spotlighting myself. Here we go. There we go. So welcome everyone again to the American Ethical Union's Anna Garlin Spencer Award Day. Anna Garlin Spencer is an important person to ethical culture. She was the first woman to be an ethical culture leader. And before she joined ethical culture and after she was with us for quite a while, she did so much in the social justice world in particular. She was an educator. She was one of the early people to help the social work school get together at Columbia University. She was one of the first educators for the ethical culture's summer school program, which was an important way to help educators across the country do important and ethics-driven education. And she did so much and for so many, and was a very strong person in her own right. And so it's a great honor that she was part of our world, and also wonderful that we can invoke her name as we move forward into today's activity, which is recognizing our current volunteers. And so I'd like to now bring us over to Sonia Coopers, who is the president of the American Ethical Union. And she will be telling us a little bit more about the award and also helping us move into the presentation of the awards. So, drop out of here, exit full screen, Sonia.
Thank you so much, Bart. So the Anna Garland Spencer Volunteer Award, as you can see on your screen, recognizes a lay member of an AEU affiliated ethical congregation in good standing for their significant volunteer contributions to the success of that congregation and therefore to the American Ethical Union, or it could also recognize their contributions on behalf of the AEU directly. What I'm going to be doing today is introducing a speaker from each society that has nominated a recipient for this award so that they can tell you a little bit about the recipient from their society. And then the recipient will have an opportunity to say a few words in response to the lovely things that are going to be said about them. I will also say that it has been a tremendous honor for me in serving on the board of directors this year to read about all of these outstanding volunteers and to have an opportunity to consider just the breadth of fantastic volunteer service that exists throughout our movement. Thank you to the societies for nominating these individuals so that I, as a board member, was able to learn more about them and to consider their fantastic contributions. Thanks. So the first recipient on our list today, which we're doing, by the way, in alphabetical order by society. The first recipient is Adam Gravois, and we're going to hear a few words about Adam's contributions from Hani Farid.
Thank you, Sonia. Adam Gravois has been a member of the Ethical Society of Austin for the greater part of its 25 years of existence. Adams focused his service to the Society on the task of providing a consistent schedule of weekly programs, but his influence has been felt throughout the Society. Adam Gravois serves as chair of the Ethical Society of Austin's Programs Platform Committee. And as the ESOA is a small society without a clergy leader, the committee's tasked with providing weekly platforms. These programs may include guest speakers or presentations from our own members, and Adams made the colloquy an institution at the Ethical Society of Austin. Adams' own platforms have produced a special measure of influence with frequent flashes of technological wizardry, offering us a strong element of reason, compassion, and science. Now, these same features, reason, compassion, and science, are central to his influence as a member of the Ethical Society of Austin. Adam also serves us as a thoughtful listener, willing to apply reason and fact, well dosed with compassion, and discussion with practical and philosophical, in both practical and philosophical. Adam, on behalf of the Ethical Society of Austin's board and all its members, thank you for all your contributions and hard work.
Thank you, Hani. And I would like to thank the American Ethical Union and the board of the Ethical Society of Austin. I'm deeply honored by this recognition. I was surprised by the nomination and humbled by it as well. ESOA has been an important part of my evolution and as a person and my growth as a human being. But I've also always felt like I was not measuring up to what was needed. And I recognize in that the familiar feeling of being inadequate to face the problems of the world. And the kindness and love shown to me by my friends at the Ethical Society of Austin, the acceptance of my failures and the celebration of my successes has helped me come to a clearer vision and a deeper understanding of ethical humanism, what it means to treat each and every human being as an end in themselves. And that there is a real and critical role for ethical humanism right now, for me personally, for our member organizations, and for the world at large. That this can be a path for exiting the cycles of violence and dominance toward a deeper recognition of human value, mine and yours, theirs, everyone's, starting small, tiny, one-on-one, and growing bigger. And that the road is bumpy, and we're not always as strong as we might wish, but together we move forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Adam, for those words, and congratulations again on the Anna Garlin Spencer Award, which is obviously richly deserved. Our next recipient today is Teresa Forsman from the Ethical Culture Society of Bergen County, and Susan Lesh is here to say a few words about Teresa's contributions.
Thank you, Sonia. Teresa Forsman has been a member of the Ethical Culture Society of Bergen County for 25 years. Teresa has always been an active participant in our society, for example, serving as a mentor for Sunday school graduates. While she is the paid editor of our monthly newsletter, she performs volunteer efforts over and above her duties, mostly in the area of social media communication to our members and the world. Since moving to Nebraska, she considers these efforts as a large part of her membership contribution. In addition, this past year, she spent many hours developing the concept and producing Joe Schumann's Retirement Gift, a book about his legacy to the Bergen Society and to the ethical movement as a whole. While the idea of a book is wonderful, there is an awful lot of hard work that goes into the nitty-gritty production of it. Teresa had design and proofreading help, but the lion's share of the work and the mental energy required to keep everything moving forward, from idea generation in December 2020 to actual book production in June 2021, belonged to Teresa. We therefore feel her efforts are worthy of this award. Congratulations, Teresa.
Thank you, Susan. In my 25 years as a member of the Bergen Society, I have known many giants in our community, and I've watched their enormous contributions. So if I, in a small way, can follow their example, I'm happy to do that. You know, Joe had been our leader for 46 years. So he's the only leader that most of us in Bergen know. And I was happy to help document Joe's legacy to our society and to the AEU. And at the same time, as Joe says in the book, you know, documenting Joe's work in our society is also honoring our society for the last 46 years, because his influence on us and our influence on him helped make us who we are and make him who he is. So I was honored to do it. Thank you.
Congratulations, Teresa. Thank you so much for your service to the ethical culture movement. It's wonderful to hear about your contributions. Our next recipient is Muriel Tillinghast, who is from the Brooklyn Society for Ethical Culture. And we're going to hear a few words from Fiona Bonham about Muriel's contributions.
Thank you for recognizing me, Sonia, and what a pleasure to be here today to celebrate the hard work of so many wonderful people in the movement. I'm representing the executive committee of the Brooklyn Society today, and it's my pleasure to introduce Muriel. Muriel Tillinghast is a lifelong teacher and activist, tenaciously doing whatever it takes to educate and organize. She's a history buff with a particular interest in American slavery and its systematic residual effects. Muriel's had two projects at the Brooklyn Society for Ethical Culture that we wanted to acknowledge and promote and brag a little about today. The first is Lucy's Children, co-chaired with Ellen Rader. That's an ongoing group. They examine the fiction of race in order to address the fact of racism. Lucy's Children meets weekly and provides information, opportunities, and events that bind the community together in the effort of ending racism. In addition to that internal programming, Muriel took it upon herself to fundraise $12,000 to make possible a conference that recently completed. It was the 19th Century America, Fiends, Fugitives, and Friends, a new perspective on the connections between enslaved Black people, tribal nations, and bands of indigenous people. She drafted the speakers, she put together the program, and she kept the momentum building for a whole year despite the pandemic. It was an extremely successful conference. So on behalf of the board of the Brooklyn Society of Ethical Culture, I would like to thank the AEU for bestowing this honor on Muriel. And I'd personally like to congratulate her and hand the floor over to Muriel Tillinghast.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. It is with a great deal of pride that I accept this award, this hallmark of feminist strategic thought and action. Anna Garlin Spencer made her mark upon the world in bold relief, with clarity and determination in a time when she was ahead of the pack, even ahead of those who thought themselves liberal. While Anna Garlin Spencer lived, she engaged, engineered, and supported those winds of change, all of which were on the edge of our country's social dynamics. It is humbling to think that you would think that in my way, I follow in her footsteps. And for that thought, I thank you. Before closing, I would like to take the opportunity to thank the Board of Trustees of the Brooklyn Society for Ethical Culture for their recommendation to you, the American Ethical Union, on my behalf for this award. I would like to share the names of Ellen Rader and Rita Wilson, who have worked and continue to work with me in Lucy's Children, our learning and teaching hub at BSAC. There, we have learned that race as a scientific matter actually does not exist. On the other hand, racism, which is the punitive application of this false narrative, does exist, and it is ugly and vicious. It affects and effects all of our lives directly or indirectly on a daily basis, whether one is conscious of it or not. It is truly time for an Anna Garland Spencer moment, and I thank you for this recognition.
Muriel, thank you so much for your contributions, both to the Brooklyn Society and to our movement. I know that I have been hearing about Lucy's Children for years, and the conference that we've just heard about sounds like it was amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Our next recipients today are Sue and Scott Walton of the Chicago Ethical Humanist Circle, and Ken Novak is here to say a few words about their contributions.
Hi all. You may already know Sue and Scott Walton from their AEU activities. Scott is a former AEU treasurer and assembly camera person everywhere. And Sue is the assembly guru, board, but also the board development chair for the AEU, President's Council chair. But they've also been cornerstones of the Chicago Ethical Humanist Circle from the moment of its inception. Sue has donned many hats for us: founding secretary, presently co-secretary, the factotum for coffee and everything else, board email communicator, and not least a gentle nudge keeping the rest of us on our toes and on our tasks. Scott was the Circle's original treasurer and a continuing board member. He filed our incorporation papers, set up the bank accounts, was the primary drafter of our bylaws. He handled arrangements with the community center where we met and was there before, Scott and Sue were there before anyone else and after everyone else left every time we met at the community center. And that is before they moved to the Indianapolis area in 2019. We applaud their critical contributions, treasure their friendship. We're grateful that the Zoom era has enabled their continuing participation in our activities, but also we wish them good speed in their efforts to start an Indianapolis area ethical community.
Unmute, please.
Yep. Should know it better, but wasn't quick on the draw. We thank you. Thank heavens for Zoom now that we can still communicate with the rest of you. We, as Ken said, Scott and I are not giving up. We're trying to form an ethical society here in Indianapolis. We still do our thing in Chicago, and the fact that we're regulars on our check-in, and Scott does our ethical issues. We do this as a labor of love and respect for a community that welcomed us 21 years ago. Yeah, about going on 21 years ago. So we thank you. We thank the board of the American Ethical Union and its staff and our beloved family in Chicago. Thank you.
Congratulations, Sue and Scott, and thank you to the Chicago Ethical Humanist Circle for this opportunity to learn more about their contributions. Our next recipient today is Eleanor Kaplan from the New York Society for Ethical Culture, and Liz Singer is here to say a few words about Eleanor's contributions.
Good afternoon. One of the things I'm amazed with AEU and with the ethical culture movement is how volunteerism makes it all work. And the amazing, all members of NAACP that I've experienced volunteer tremendously, amazingly. But Eleanor Kaplan, she joined 10 years ago in 2011. 1 year later, she started her destiny of volunteering. In 2012, she co-chaired and subsequently chaired the Membership Development Committee until 2015. She then moved to co-chair and chair the Communications Committee, which she still is. She's been on the Board of Trustees since 2014. Some of her past volunteer responsibilities, and recently was co-chair of the Leaders Search Committee and the Trustee Nominating Committee. Eleanor is also the driving force of the NAACP Building Beautification Task Force. She invented the name also. And she currently is the editor of our newsletter. It is a 12-page newsletter that she puts out with her team every single month. But the reason that we really wanted her to receive this award was during the COVID-19 restrictions, she took it upon herself to coordinate our interim program committee, and there was 20 programs that she worked with the host every single week to make sure those programs stayed in the forefront for all of our members to feel connected to the society. So with this, I am very proud to give Eleanor and the AEU, I'm very thankful for the recognition to Eleanor Kaplan for the great job she continues her past and she continues to do. So thank you very much, Eleanor. And
Just unmute, please.
Okay, thank you, Liz. One of the many cogent Felix Adler quotes is, always act so as to elicit the best in others and thereby in yourself. Anna Garlin Spencer, who became his associate leader, took him at his word. She, like Adler, set a prime example for ethical culture members, giving of herself as an educator, writer, and leader, as well as an activist. What I find wonderful at the New York Society for Ethical Culture is that every voice is heard. If you care about something, you will find the inspiration, support, and collaborators to do something about it. To be actively engaged, be it creating a program, getting a speaker, donating food, getting out the vote, joining with and supporting others to inform and take action about the issues we care about, as we do our darndest to help, as Adler said, make this world a better place. If one needed proof, one needn't go back to Adler and Garland and the many, many more who have given so much to the society and the movement itself. I see how many of us, and I'm sure many of you across the AEU can echo this, how many of us readily stepped up in these recent challenging months and gave and have continued to generously give of themselves to keep our society going and growing, and to reach out to the community and help as well. That's what ethical culture is all about. I could not do what I do if I weren't heard, supported, encouraged, and joined by my fellow members of the New York Society for Ethical Culture. The icing on the cake is to be given this award. Thank you all so much.
Congratulations, Eleanor. And I must say that your energy is an inspiration to us all. Thank you so much for your work on behalf of the New York Society.
And thank you, Sonia.
Our next recipient today is John Benfatti from the Riverdale Yonkers Ethical Society. I hope I didn't just mispronounce that. And Joan Johnson Lewis is here to say a few words about John's contributions.
Yeah, I first met John many years ago when he attended the Lay Leadership Summer School before I was the leader at RISEC, and his passion for the society and for making it a success was apparent from the beginning. John has given many, many years of dedication to the society. He has done a number of tasks. He has been president of the society. He's been on the board for, I believe, more than 20 years and just stepped off. He has been our primary coordinator for the building for many of the recent years. But the most important thing that John has done, I think he would agree, has been his long commitment to the homeless shelter that has met at the Riverdale Society on Monday nights every week until the pandemic. And we hope to have that up and running when it's safe in the fall again. He fought at the beginning with others at the society against a really strong campaign in the neighborhood against the homeless shelter. And he has weathered that and moved ahead with it and been faithful every week, organizing people to be there, organizing food for the people. I met a few years ago someone from the homeless community in New York and mentioned my connection to RISEC, and they said, oh, that's that homeless shelter where they really treat you like a human being. And I think a lot of that spirit is because of John. So I'm very pleased that the board and the AEU board have honored John with this long, well-deserved volunteer award.
Well, I would like to thank the board of RISEC and the AEU for honoring me with this award. 4 years after I joined Ethical Culture, I realized that helping other human beings, especially homeless human beings, was my goal as a humanist. I went through a bumpy road in the beginning, as Joan indicated, but with perseverance, I was able to overcome that. And until the pandemic, we operated at RISEC for more than 15 years, serving individuals on Monday evening. And I was able to involve other community organizations like 2 synagogues and a Presbyterian, Riverdale Presbyterian House, Hebrew Institute of Riverdale, and the Conservative Synagogue, all providing food or sleepover volunteers. And we were going very smoothly. Unfortunately, the pandemic has caused us to close down. And we're hoping that between the drop-in center that provides us with our guests and us in opening our building, we can come to an agreement. But I certainly, as chair of the emergency overnight shelter at RISEC, would operate the shelter as if I were serving guests in my own home. And that's how they felt as coming to us. And they always enjoyed coming to us. So thank you very much.
Thank you, John. It was a delight to hear about your contributions and your hard work with the homeless shelter. And congratulations on receiving the award. Our next recipient this afternoon is David Brown from the Ethical Society of St. Louis, and Stephanie Segala is here to say a few words about his contributions.
Hi, everyone. David Brown is really a remarkable person. He is thoughtful, caring, smart, and productive. His many contributions have made the Ethical Society of St. Louis a much better place. David and his wife, Sherry Green, joined the Ethical Society of St. Louis in 2003. In his 18 years of membership, David Brown has led the society in many important initiatives. He has helped the society internally through governance reform, as well as representing the society in the greater St. Louis community. David's initial efforts helped the society as it made the transition from paper to electronic information systems. His interests have also included many aspects of governance structure of the congregation. Early bylaw revisions led to a full-scale restructuring of the society in 2013. It was a major, big deal. Then, as president from 2013 to 16, his term was tasked with the implementation of that new structure, which newly divided responsibilities between an active ministry team and tasked the board with long-term planning and administration. David's term was also notable for the hiring of a second leader for our congregation. He still is around. His name is James Croft. Since leaving the board, David has focused on helping refugees who come to this country under the auspices of the International Institute of St. Louis. He and his team of society members have helped with monthly lunches and now serve as continuing mentors for 2 refugee families. David's leadership was instrumental in obtaining a $5,000 grant from the Refugee Council USA in 2020-21. For 6 months, the society team has been shopping and delivering monthly food contributions to 6 refugee families. David's a special guy. We're so happy he joined us 18 years ago. He really deserves this award. Thank you so much, David.
Here I am. Well, thank you, Stephanie. I hope I can be heard. I am between events and I'm stopping at a Panera to participate in this ceremony. It's really an honor to join a number of people that I know who have received the Anna Garlin Spencer Award before for the Ethical Society of St. Louis, and some of them are on the Zoom session here today. I was very pleased and surprised to be chosen this year, and I think it's quite a nice award. The thing I'd like to mention is the work that we've been doing over the last few years with the International Institute of St. Louis. This is an organization that works through the State Department and so forth, and these are legal refugees who come to the U.S. and then they're sent to various places, and so the International Institute puts them in, it helps them get started in St. Louis, and several congregations from various religions have participated in that, and we have, I think the Institute has really liked working with us because they know that we're not there to evangelize the refugees as some others might be. So that's worked really well for us. And the people that we served, there were 27 people in these 6 families that we served this winter during the pandemic. These were people who came to St. Louis within just a few months, or maybe even later than that, of the time the pandemic started. So all of a sudden they're in a new country. The International Institute is shut down, so they don't have as much support as they would ordinarily have. Unfortunately, we got this $5,000 grant so that we could provide extra food from these people. These were mostly people from both the Congo and from Afghanistan who come to the St. Louis area. So anyway, it's been very rewarding for several of us who've been involved in this project. And it's just one of the things that people do that is really a good thing to help people out. And so I'm very thankful that I received this award, and I'm grateful to Stephanie and the rest of the board of trustees that decided to nominate me. Thank you.
Congratulations, David. It was amazing to hear about the broad range of service that you have provided at the St. Louis Society. Thank you for your work. Our next recipient today is Patty Arduini of the Susquehanna Valley Ethical Society. And we have with us Jesse Almstead to say a few words about Patty's contributions.
Hi, thank you. Patty is our founder and fearless lay leader who created the Ethical Society here from nothing in an area of the country where it wouldn't be the most easy or likely place. She devotes tireless work and countless hours to our mission into ethical culture. And she's done that for years on a voluntary basis. She keeps our community together and recruits new members through consistent and timely communications via multiple modes, including social media. She serves on the Ethical Education Committee, building a program from the ground up. She leads numerous ethical action projects each year. She is a lay leader who continuously pushes herself and us to grow. She's innovated ways to expand SVES's reach and strengthen the community's inclusivity. And one example of that is her dedication to the Clergy in Residence program that she spearheaded to make it possible for SVES to work with Jay Hooper to strengthen SVES as a community and tap into greater potential, recruit new members. Patty is the backbone, heart, and lungs of SVES. So on behalf of our society, AKA the Valley, we thank you, Patty, for all that you do.
Thank you, Jesse, for those words. And it's an honor to be here with all of the recipients of the Anna Garlin Spencer Volunteer Award. I truly don't feel as though I meet up to what you all have been doing in your societies. You know, SVES has just been in existence for 6 years. And, you know, since we joined the Ethical Union in 2017, I truly have not wavered from my commitment that our society proclaimed in our support of our national organization, the AEU, and its mission. And for as far as my SVES society, I've been steadfast in my commitment there as well to our growth and our development. As we, you know, meet here, as Jesse said, in a very, very conservative area. And yeah, it is difficult, but with the help of all of our membership, you know, we're doing wonderful things right here in the central Pennsylvania that we find ourselves. So I just want to thank all the members of Susquehanna Valley Ethical Society, the board of the society, and the AEU for the many opportunities and the inspiration that you have given me to do good and spread love to others. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Patty. Congratulations on your receipt of this well-deserved award. I believe you are being too humble in your assessment of your own contributions. Thank you so much for your hard work. Finally, the last recipient today of the Anna Garlin Spencer Award is Chris Cayman of the Ethical Humanist Society of the Triangle. And I believe Dorothy Dale will be saying a few words about Chris.
Thank you very much, Sonia. Chris Cayman has been an active member of the Ethical Humanist Society of the Triangle since approximately 1994. So do the math, that's about 27 years. And I want to emphasize he's been an active member for all of that time. His contributions have been incalculable and would be impossible to enumerate in full, but here are some highlights. Chris is actually a retired IT professional. He wasn't retired when he started with us, but he's now retired. And over the years, he's really enabled us to do the electronics. It's not, it's not that easy for people in 1990 to then move on to an electronic environment, but he's been the point person. He manages our website. He updates our website. He ensures that we have the right security software in place. This year, he facilitated our Zoom meetings, which I think exceeded our expectations. And he helps us utilize other tools like Facebook and MailChimp. He's also our train the trainer. So he helps some of the rest of us get our skills enhanced. So for example, this week we'll be going back to our rental building and checking out how we can try to do hybrid meetings, which we hope we'll be able to do. So he's been really good with his time about that kinds of things. He's also served many years on our board, sort of rotating positions. He's been our treasurer, in particularly recently, provides financial overview and expertise, manages our pledge drives and our investments and expenditures. He also helps us maintain our connection with the AEU. He's attended many assemblies. He's served as a delegate multiple times, and he's contributed a lot to various AEU initiatives, including helping to run the President's Council. But most importantly, Chris has provided consistent and strong lay leadership. We are a society which has in the past for about a decade, had a very part-time leader, Randy Best, who was fantastic, but moved on to a bigger gig. But for many years before that and the years since that, we've only had lay leadership. Chris attended the lay leadership summer school some years ago, and for several years, as I said, has been on our board, including 4 years as president, most recently. He's served on many committees, including membership and programs. And in the 1990s, we had quite a successful ethics school for children, and he helped to run that. He has developed and presented several excellent platforms for us. One recent one was on plastic, which was very interesting and educational. So he's helped us provide year-round meetings for members. We do meet every week year-round. That can be challenging. So Chris's help in all of that has also been huge. I think it's extremely notable and a huge factor in Chris's leadership contribution that he attends the vast majority of our Sunday meetings, as well as our happy hours, game nights, and book club discussions. As with all organizations, there is inevitably some turnover in our society, but Chris is a constant and in many ways the de facto leader, lowercase, of our society. So thank you, Chris.
All right, thank you so much. I would first like to, I've got to move something out of my way here. First, I'd like to thank the EHST board for honoring me in this way, and to the AEU board for its endorsement. Second, I'd like to thank Ina Evans, our founder. She held the first meeting in 1986 in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Her energy and inspiration and the work of many others over many years have sustained us as the first humanist congregation in North Carolina. Ina died a few years ago, but her dream lives on. Third, I'd like to thank my wife, Jane, who's filming me right now, who has supported me and the society all along the way from our joining back in 1994. And last, it has been my privilege to know so many people throughout our society and to learn from and be changed by them. Thank you very much. And there's Jane. Thank you.
Congratulations, Chris, and thank you to the Ethical Humanist Society of the Triangle for this opportunity to learn more about Chris's fantastic contributions. At this time, I'd just like to congratulate all of the recipients of the Anna Garlin Spencer Award this year, all 10 of you, which is a really astonishing number of recipients. And also to appreciate that the virtual nature of this ceremony made it possible for all of the honorees to attend and for so many of us to hear about their work on behalf of their individual societies and the American Ethical Union as a whole. Thank you again. Bart, back over to you. You're muted though.
Yep. Hello. Okay, welcome back. So thanks all for being, first of all, for all the volunteers volunteering so beautifully, and for the people nominating them speaking so beautifully about them. Let's bring it home with a little bit more music. And afterwards, a reminder that we do have the after party. So we'll talk a little bit more about that after we get to hear some tunes. So a different thread. Welcome back.
Thanks again for having us. This song mentions North Carolina, and it's really nice to see Chris and Dorothy and other familiar faces out there across the interwebs. This is a new song of ours. It's called Muddy Waters.
This river's rising and I'm running round. I can't hold on to the love I found. You left me down in New Orleans. I see your face in every dream. shining through. You call me up when you get the blues, and I can't wait for you to be near. Oh, mama, I'm still right here. I'm still right here. Nah, nah, nah. Goodbye, muddy waters, I'm drowning in your wake. I love you, but I know I can't stay. So give me sweet surrender and I'll be on my way. It's a long way to Carolina from here. Goodbye, muddy waters, I'm drowning in your wake. I love you, but I know I can't stay. So give me sweet surrender and I'll be on my way. It's a long way to Carolina from here. It's a long way to Carolina from here.
Congratulations, everyone. Keep up the hard work.
Thank you so much. And please put those links back in the chat just in case people miss it the first time round. So that concludes the formal part of our Anna Garland Spencer Award Day.